Hey, you guys, happy Wednesday. I hope you guys got over hump day very well. All right, let's get straight into it. I know a lot of people wonder about this particular topic, and I'm here to just give you my take on it. Some of us have healed like all the way in some way, but some are at a different stage where they still wonder, like, has the narcissist just used me and forgotten about me? Like, just completely forgotten about me? Did they forget about me? The answer, in my opinion, is no. No, they can't forget about you. And that's the problem. It's the problem because out of all of their victims thus far, you hit a different spot in there that they just didn't know they had. I don't care how many self-aware narcissists get on there and go, there's no such thing as like that one or that ultimate grade A supply. And I'm not saying by any means should you ever like strive to be that. But let's face it, you probably were that. You probably were the grade A supply. You probably were the irreplaceable supply that they continuously look for in other people, and where they have to go through about 12, 13, 20 people just to piece it together to build a bitch like a Build-A-Bear, right? And they still don't equal you, do they? And that's why they stalk you. That's why they still harass you. That's why they just can't seem to let it go. Frozen. Hope you got that. Anyway, so it just made me think of that. I'm like, they don't forget about you. But it's the fact that they can't seem to forget about you like the others that they hate your guts, right? It's kind of, to me, this is what I thought of like a scenario. It's kind of to me like hitting someone with your car, okay? And then reminiscing about the dent when that person actually had to go to recovery therapy, right? They don't even care that they hit you with their car. They're just like, but that dent though, right? How gross is that? You hit me with your emotional car, and now you're upset and worried about the dent in your ego. Okay. It made me kind of think about, of course, I love, to talk about movies. Movies are like a great way to kind of tie things in and relate to. It made me think about Beauty and the Beast. Now, we all know Disney. Disney's a whole setup for bullshit thinking as far as you're going to be rescued by a dude, whatever. I won't go that deep. We already know. But I thought about Beauty and the Beast, right? It's a Beauty and the Beast scenario. Okay? It's not just that Beauty could represent the empath and the Beast can represent the narcissist, because let's face it, the only reason that he was in his situation is because he was being narcissistic. He had a whole ass castle with a bunch of supply surrounding him that he didn't give two shits about, that he could just run through, okay? And this one woman comes in that looks different from them. We'll just call her different. And he just denies her a place to sleep in this huge ass castle, who, if he gave her a room, he wouldn't even hear her fart. I mean, shit. He wouldn't have heard anything because he had that much space, right? But because he didn't do that, and then, she offered him again. Hey, take this rose. But what does the rose represent? The rose represented something natural, something real, something loving and something that wasn't so overly extravagant like what he was used to, but it was something beautiful. A rose is beautiful, it's natural, it's real. And he laughed that off. And then what happened? What happened to him is what exactly happens to the narcissist in all of our scenarios, right? Is that then you didn't just transform into a beautiful person in front of their eyes. What you did was the veil was dropped, and they got to actually see that you were actually this beautiful person the whole time. I mean, inside and out, right? And they're like, well, I didn't see that when I met you. Like how when he met that would look like an old hag, right? When I met you, you looked like you were insignificant. Like what happened? What happened was you didn't see it. I was always significant. And now he was trying to apologize. Didn't they try to like kind of grovel and apologize in some weird ass way? Even if their groveling and apologetic behavior was stalking and gawking and, you know what I'm saying, harassment. But that's their way of kind of being like, hey, like, I didn't realize you were you. Well, yeah, neither did the beast, right? Before he became a beast. And then once he got transformed to look on the outside the same way he looked on the inside, he didn't like that shit, right? And his time was slowly running out. Your ex-narc's time is also slowly running out. And they know that, right? And everyone around him was what? Fake. You had every servant, everybody that ever served him turned into some kind of object, which don't narcissists consider people to be objects? So they were never really, that was the real them in his eyes, because in his eyes, as a narcissistic piece of shit ass beastie animalistic type of person, they were never real people to begin with when they were working for him before that spell dropped. That's why he could only see them as physical objects: a clock, a candelabra, a teapot, a teacup, you know, a feather duster. You get it, a chifforobe or wardrobe, right? All those people look like that to him anyway. Look at your movies, different, right? And the only reason why they were even looked at like that is because of him. Same with the other supplies. The other supplies are people too, in some way, shape, or form. The only reason why they become objects is because of the viewer, which is the narcissist, right? And then what happens in that movie? He meets Belle, right? Belle is well-rounded and intellectual, someone that is not extravagant but beautiful at the same time, inside and out, and he covets her. First, he shits all on her, right? But why does he miss her when he finally releases her? Let's call it a discard. He misses her because of the way she made him feel, right? He misses the way she made him feel. He misses the fact that she was actually genuine. He misses the fact that she has some snapback to her personality. She didn't just let him do whatever the fuck, right? He misses that. And he wants it. But he's still, as he wants it, is still a beast, right? He's still an animal, right? Does that sound familiar? Right. And what it is to me, the reason why he wanted her is it made me question, it made me formulate this question to the beast, had he been real. And he is real if you think of the beast as being your ex-narc, right? I felt like, I'm like, do you really need your victim to reassure you that you are a good predator? Because in actuality, he wanted Belle back to reassure him that he was a decent predator. Like, aren't I antagonizing enough? Am I not tantalizing enough? Am I not persuasive enough? Do I not catch your attention? And she still rolled the fuck off to go do what was important to her. Of course, the ending was some bullshit, but we rocking with what I'm talking about now. And what I'm talking about now is that narc is just like the Beast in Beauty and the Beast. He enjoyed her company. He enjoyed her attention. He enjoyed her making him feel human. Right? Even though he knew he was some straight up trash, he knew he deserved everything the fuck he was getting, right? And he knew his time was running out. And out of all the supply he had around him that disappeared because of him, all the objects that he kept around him at all times, the clock, Mrs. Potts, Chip, the feather duster, right? He still wanted Belle because she was the realest. And he recognized that, right? So, no, the narcissist did not forget about you. The problem is that they can't. And they dislike you for it. Because just like he handed Belle that mirror, hey, this mirror shows you like anything you want to see. Hopefully you'll think of me when you look in it, right? The narcissist hopes every day that when you look in the mirror, you see some remnants of them and think of them. And if you don't, the last petal falls and they don't exist anymore. And they know it. Anyway, food for thought, a little deep if you really think about it. They didn't forget about you. And that's the problem. Happy Wednesday, my loves. And I hope you're doing very well. All right?